And with that, here is Mrs. Lohr, our kindergarten teacher and the recipient of the TEF grant.
Thank you for having us tonight. I'm Esther Lohr. I'm a kindergarten teacher over at McKay School, and I brought some of our students here to kind of show you what it is that we've been working on for the last couple of months. So before I have them jump in and show you a little hands-on demonstration, I want to tell you a little bit more about what Cubetto is, which is what the grant went for. Here.
Faster. Yeah.
Cubetto is the name of this coding robot. As you can see on the ground and in the picture, it consists of a map, the Cubetto robot itself, and then a cue board, and the directional tiles, which I'll talk about in a little bit. So basically it's teaching students at a preschool level and up to code without the screen. So coding, computer writing, computer programming. Usually you're learning how to send instructions to a computer to get them to do what you want them to do, and you have to learn their different types of programming languages. This is very basic, forward, right, left, and then there is a thing called the function button, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And so the students, what they have to do is they get instructions, they have to move Cubetto from point A to point B, and they use the directional tiles to get him there. They have to input all the directions before they set him off on his way. So as you can imagine, there are a lot of skills needed in order for students to be able to do that. The adventure that you see before you today, this is a little undersea adventure. There are multiple other maps that were also purchased with the grant that I can pull out and show you as well. But the skills that are practiced in order for them to successfully achieve getting Cubetto from point A to point B is to obviously follow directions, work cooperatively with their small group, and also with their partners, depending on what kind of setting they're in. You see a little picture of these two students who are working in pairs after a map was introduced. Their spatial awareness, you're thinking ahead of time of, okay, I gotta make 3 steps forward, a right turn, a left, a right turn, a forward, a left turn, and then I'll reach my destination. Problem solving, that's where the function line comes in. If you know a little bit about coding, you can see that there's only a certain number of tiles. There's only 4 forward spaces. But Cubetto needs to go 6 spaces, and how do you make him go those 6 spaces using only 4 tiles? You got to use the function line, and we're going to demonstrate that for you on how the function line works. So I gave you some pictures of students working on different maps in the classroom. One of the major skills in kindergarten is just learning your left from your right. So this is one of our students who's trying to figure out using, the good old, if it makes an L, it's a left. If it doesn't, it's a right turn, to figure out what direction Cubetto has to go in. It's another little picture of counting out the spaces of, well, you have to go from point A to point B. There are 4 spaces that they need to go, counting out, making sure that there's one-to-one correspondence with that. Placing the tiles, which the students will do for you in a little bit, where they have to think ahead of time, problem solve, how do I get from point A to point B, and to try it out. If they made a mistake, if they made a right turn instead of a left turn, at what point in the tile placement would they need to make that adjustment? And then when a map is first introduced, we work on it together in small group during math. And then once they've gotten the hang of a map of an adventure, the following week they get to work on it just with partners and a little bit more independently on their own. They're introduced in small group setting. They're part of the math center rotations, and the students get to rotate, practicing the coding with the Cubetto every week. And because of the grant, we were able to purchase 2 Cubetto robots for each of the 3 kindergarten classrooms, so 6 robots total, and all of them came with the adventure packs, which I thought were a great additional resource to have. So in addition to an underwater map, there's a city map. This is the original map that Cubetto comes with. This one about Egypt, so we learned about ancient Egypt the other week. And you guys don't know this yet, but we will be doing an outer an outer space map as well. And so each of these maps come with books. They run through a story about something that Cubetto is doing. For the city one, he gets lost, and we have to help Cubetto find his way home. And as we run through the story, there are different science and social studies elements that we talk about. Obviously, with Egypt, we talk about things like hieroglyphics and papyrus and how they used to write. With the underwater adventure that we've been doing this week, what does the word marine mean? Marine animals, marine plants, so on and so forth. All right, so you guys want to get in here? All right, so most of the earth is covered with water. There's 3 times more water than land. From the beach, make Cubetto sail to the large ocean liner. First, they must take a small boat to get to the deep sea. Cubetto climbs aboard, excited for the passage. When they reach the submarine, everyone lines up as they enter the airlock. All below, these oceans and seas are very salty. When water is not salty, it is called fresh water. From the ship, turn Cubetto around and swim to the large kelp underwater plant. Once below the waves, they pass through a very cold sea. Large blocks of ice float on the surface. Out of this window pass all the animals that live in cold water. Schools of fish, large whales, and sea lions swim by. Blocks of ice that break off land are called icebergs. They can be as big as buildings. From the kelp, steer Cubetto to the iceberg, but don't hit the jellyfish.
Yeah. So they'll just turn right.
Okay, so that was just a little demonstration.
Excellent, you guys. Thank you so much. Now you have to teach us.
I'm going to come by, you're going to have to
Right,
teach
it's
me.
really fun.
May I ask a question of the students? So, we saw green, red, and yellow. What does Cubetto do when you give him a blue command?
He goes, if you need to repeat stuff, like you have 4 forwards, but you need to go 6, you press the function button in the function line, and it makes it go again and again. So you put 4, and then maybe you put 2. You can put the function button.
Should we try a demonstration? I was trying to teach kindergarten teachers.
I still don't.
Okay, so the function button represents 2 forwards. So we're going to put 2 forwards. Where does that get us? That gets us here. Then how do we get here? 1 more.
2.
Yeah. And then we have to turn which way?
No, it is turn left.
Oh my gosh.
Confused. That's so difficult.
Place a left. And then we have to go
Yellow is left.
up to the submarine, so that's a 1 forward. Then we have to, well, now we're at the submarine and we have to go towards the island. We have to turn. So which direction? Is it turn right or to the left?
Right.
Cubetto is facing north, so we have to turn left. And then he has to go 2 spaces, but that's our function. 2 spaces. Okay, go ahead, Brianna. That's how the function goes. So the function line is much higher level and critical thinking skills that some of the students are just starting to grasp now.
Because this is amazing. And it's such a great thing to be doing.
My husband is in IT, and when he comes across kind of these education-related things, he passes them on, and, and that's where it comes.
Oh, that's great. Thank you all.
Thank you very much,
Thank
kids.
you.
You did a great job.
This was really
It's terrific. Thanks, Esther. Thanks, Brenda.
Yeah, thank you both so much. This was really fascinating. I'm just still thinking about it. I'm like, oh, now I have to run the meeting.